What's up, Team CO5? It is Charlie05 here. Today, let's talk about Chuck E. Cheese's in the movie Clown since 2014. When those two guys in the van came here to Chuck E. Cheese, also, if this arcade is not a Chuck E. Cheese, but then, when they enter the arcade, the sign says Chuck E. Cheese. And the sign always looked like the one from a Northridge, California location, which is the first Legacy store that the sign always looked like this. Here, I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to give you a second. Alright, so guys, if you're telling me if this Chuck E. Cheese sign while you're watching the movie Clown since 2014, take a look at this. When the two guys in the van pulled over, when the two guys are driving in the van, when the van pull up, you can see the sign in the reflection here, and it reads Chuck E. Cheese's, and the sign looks like this. See, if you look closely, this sign looks like the one from a Northridge, California location of Chuck E. Cheese, where the sign always looked like this. See, it looks like the sign of the Chuck E. Cheese always look like that. Now, let's go to the inside. What does Chuck E. Cheese look like? Zoom in, and I'll tell you more. Inside this building, this isn't a Chuck E. Cheese at all times, Chuck E. Cheese fans. Especially you, Chatty Chucky. And also, by the way, take a look at the difference between the inside of the Chuck E. Cheese and this one inside the arcade in the film Clown since 2014. So, inside this arcade, so inside the location, so this is what the inside of the Chuck E. Cheese look like. It has the games, kiddie rides in the background. There's the sky tubes, skee ball, Duncan Alien everywhere, the basketball, or even the inside of this Chuck E. Cheese look like. Not only that, there's a 1995 photo ride in the background, there's a Bob the Builder Scoop kiddie ride in the background, and the sky tubes, but the playground always looked like the ones in the film. The playground in the film is very similar to the sky tubes. Also, that was the inside of the Chuck E. Cheese, and this is the inside of a non-Chuck E. Cheese place look like. Not only that, I'm going to rewind for a second so you can see the differences between the inside of the Chuck E. Cheese or a non-Chuck E. Cheese arcade inside. Inside Chuck E. Cheese, you can see there's bumper cars, and also there's a train kiddie ride. There's a train ride that didn't exist in Chuck E. Cheese, but Chuck E. Cheese has small bumper cars for kids to go on, not the teenagers or adults or old people like me or something like that. Also, Chuck E. Cheese's don't need claw machines like the Toy House, but they had a claw machine that is made by Coastal Amusements or ICE, I don't know. Chuck E. Cheese's also, there's plenty of games in here, and also the photo and booth is kind of similar to the sketchbook that Chuck E. Cheese locations have. I see a popcorn game in the background that looks like the one in my local Chuck E. Cheese. Now, the playground, it kind of similar to the sky tubes, and that bulldozer thing looks like the one from McDonald's. Wait a second, the playground kind of similar to the McDonald's play place, and the sky tubes from Chuck E. Cheese. Wait a second. The playground is kind of similar to the McDonald's play place from McDonald's, and this playground is kind of similar to the sky tubes from Chuck E. Cheese's. But not only that, it has this bulldozer on top, kind of similar to the ones that the bulldozer and other vehicles were connected to the The tubes in the playground is a jungle gym in the McDonald's play place are none other than the ones in the sky tubes of Chuck E. Cheese's. More like Burger King and Chick-fil-A had the similar play place like jungle gyms that has vehicles connected like a race car and an airplane that we never seen before. We had never seen it before. And also, by the way, I'm gonna fast forward. And another thing, this reminds you of, does this footage remind you of, wait a second, when the boy jumps into the ball pit, does this remind you of Into the Pit? Remember Chuck E. Cheese fans and FNAF fans, if you're watching this, if you see a boy, when you watch the movie Clown since 2014, when you see a boy jumping into a ball pit, does this remind you of Into the Pit? And also, in the ball pit, also in this arcade that was not even a Chuck E. Cheese, the ball pit used to be for many years. But Chuck E. Cheese's never had a ball pit for many years, but it used to have a ball pit since the 1990s or in the late 1980s. That's all. Now let's talk about the games, what I ever saw in the movie Clown since 2014. Let's go. Before we go into Chuck E. Cheese, I'm going to tell you where these games coming from. I'm going to tell you what these games looks like the one they had in Chuck E. Cheese. This one is the Swamp Racing game. I don't know what's the name of it. Let me know in the comments. This game was used to be at Chuck E. Cheese, but the green game, like a dino game, was also used in Chuck E. Cheese. Cyclone and Big Rig Truck, and then this rocket ship. I don't know what is this called. This game was also used in Chuck E. Cheese before they get rid of the old games and replace with new games, and it was kind of bad. The next scene, when she enters the arcade, where the arcade games that Chucky has, it has Speed Demon. I wonder if Speed Demon is in your local Chuck E. Cheese or not. There's Wacky Ducks on your left. It's the same game that Chuck E. Cheese has the Wacky Ducks game in your local Chuck E. Cheese than mine's. But in Chuck E. Cheese, instead of Wacky Ducks, it's Chucky Ducks. But in the arcade, it says Wacky Ducks, made by Ice. So, in your local Chuck E. Cheese, or my local Chuck E. Cheese, where I moved there to Texas, is the Sugarland Chuck E. Cheese. When I go to my local Chuck E. Cheese in Sugarland, Texas, I notice it's a stacker game without a prize and that claw machine as well. In the background on your left, you can see a popcorn game is reflected, along with the spider stomping game here. Here, I'm going to give you in another angle of the spider stomping game at the front while they're panicking. When the kids are panicking at Chuck E. Cheese, take a look closely. While they're running away from that evil clown who's going to kill every customers or the kids or their parents at a fake Chuck E. Cheese location, look at this. If you see that game called the Spider Stompin', if you see the Spider Stompin' game in the background, that game is also used at Chuck E. Cheese somewhere in the 90s or 2000s. Also, on your left, you can see there was a clown game that used to be here. The clown game was also used in Chuck E. Cheese since the 1990s nor 2000s. While the Dog Pounder, it is also a Dog Pounder game. It is also used. Alright, you can see the clown game is also used since the 1990s. The Dog Pounder. So the clown game, the clown shooting game where you shoot his teeth, it is also a game that can be used at Chuck E. Cheese's since the 1990s or 2000s. And plus, there's a Dog Pounder game. It is the same game that Chuck E. Cheese has, like the Dog Pounder game, was also used in Chuck E. Cheese. The Dog Pounder game can be seen in so many Chuck E. Cheese stores around the United States, but in Guatemala, it has the clown game yesterday, before my teen party, before I freak out. That's all I have to say for the Chuck E. Cheese references in the movie Clown, guys. Remember to like it. So that was the conclusion of the movie Clown since 2014. Please remember to like and subscribe to Charlie05. Remember to go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, etc., plus many more, to learn all about my channel, Charlie05. Thank you, and have a good morning. Peace.